Let's go, girl.
Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe.
Let's go. It's WTF, Women Talking Football. Not to be confused with WFT. We are a trio of producers here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Dave Campbell's Texan Live, now known as DCTX, which we can get into all of that here soon. My name is Ashley Pickle. I'm the executive producer. Sitting to my right, looking screen left, would be Miss Mallory Hartley, what is your title?
Coordinating producer of recruiting.
Coordinating producer of recording.
Recruiting.
This is going to be a trend today. Sitting in there, making us sound good. Not able to fix my speech problem, but at least able to make us sound good and look good. It's Miss Vianney Moreno, and her title's the associate producer. I do know that.
It's Miss Girl, actually.
Miss Girl. What's good, y'all? It's VNA on the Dubs TF.
DJ Moreno, is that what we're gonna okay, we need
you have a DJ background, so you could absolutely be
I have
a DJ.
a DJ background.
Yeah, your dad's a DJ.
yeah,
It's in my genes.
It's in your genes. That's what I'm trying to say.
DJ adjacent.
Yeah.
We do need to work on your DJ sound, though. That was not the best. We're excited to be back for Women Talking Football. I don't even know what episode this is, to be honest with you. Does anybody have that number?
It is. You will see it on your screen in 3, 2. 86.
86 of Women Talking Football, and we've already got a snort from Mallory Hartley.
Woo!
We are rocking and rolling. All right, so on today's show, we're going to pull an old trick out of the bag that we haven't done in forever, but it was genuinely one of our favorite ways to do an off-season episode of Women Talking Football, and that was Mailbag.
They're so fun.
They're a ton of fun, and we can sit up here and talk about what we want to talk about for so long and all of that stuff, but every now and then we're just really thankful that we have viewers that have questions and want to know stuff. And if you're really looking for a lot of football talk today, I'm going to be real honest with you, you ain't getting it.
You'll get a couple of questions.
Of questions about it, but sometimes it's just fun to remind people, we're the people that get up here and we talk about football all the time, but we're also normal human. Well, I don't know about normal, but we're also human beings.
That's a stretch.
Normal is very much a stretch for this group, but we are also human beings, and so we're just gonna have fun today. Life's kind of been lifing lately a little too hard, and so we wanted to take this as a 30 to 45 minute stretch of us to get a break from reality, and hopefully on your lunchtime for you to get a break from reality as well.
I like it. I love doing mailbags.
Sometimes if it's June 18th,
that's also the thing, is it's off season, and I feel like especially for Powers and I right now, it's really busy because it's big official visit season, it's big commitment season, but in terms of actual football content, there's just not much going on. Right, until we head to 7-on-7 here next week. I can't believe it's already next week, but it's just a fun off-season project to do. Absolutely. So the one thing that I do want to make sure we absolutely hammer home before doing anything else is this Sunday at 5 p.m., wherever you're watching this show right now. So that could be YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or it will be on TexanLive.com on Sunday. We are having our exclusive State 7-on-7 pool reveal show. We did this last year. The whole crew gets in here, and when we say exclusive with this one, we mean fully exclusive. The only way for you to find out where your team is, what pool that they are in for the State 7-on-7 tournament, which will be the following weekend, the 26th through the 28th, is to come to any of the platforms here on DCTX and find out. Our team will have Matt Stepp in, we'll have Greg Tepper, Mallory, Carter Yates, Greg Powers, the whole
whole Dave Campbell's crew is here, and we'll be revealing the pools leading up and gearing up to being the home of 7 on 7 next week. So we'll do that this Sunday. We'll have all of our 7 on 7 coverage next week, and then Saturday, July 28th, we will do a massive State 7 on 7 recap show. So obviously follow us along on TexasFootball.com and on our social channels at DCTF. You'll be able to get all of the news and notes from the actual State 7 on 7 tournament.
You'll get highlights, you'll get interviews from players and coaches and just a bunch of thoughts about the tournament itself.
And then that Saturday we'll cap everything off with a full-on recap show with tons of highlights and all of that. But this Sunday, 5:00 p.m. on any of our channels that you can watch a video on, come join us as the entire Dave Campbell's squad reveals the exclusive reveal of the State 7 on 7 pools. So wanted to make sure to give that shout out.
I'm pumped.
Yes.
7 on 7 is a fun time of year.
It is. Oh, it absolutely is.
Because it happens at just the right time, because we sent our magazine to press last week. We're all kind of itching for football season to start now, and 7 on 7 is a perfect segue into football season.
It feels like, I always feel like when we reveal the cover of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, that is the official start of the football season, and this is like, okay, that's great and all, and there's a lot of words to read, and that's fun, but like 7 on 7 is actual action, and that is super exciting. I did want to touch on that one a little bit too, as we let people, you can go ahead and submit your questions now for Mailbag. Not Friday, just Mailbag Wednesday. I guess. Mailbag Wednesday. So you can do that. But I did want to give V&A, maybe not as she's getting sassy there, but give V&A an opportunity to talk a little bit about the cover reveal. If you would like to get your copy of the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Summer Edition magazine sent directly to you, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe, and we will mail that to you. But V&A, for the very first time, took over the cover reveal videos that we aired on Texas Football Today. I can say this because I've done it. Mallory has done it. That's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
You have to get that right. Our editorial team put so much effort into this magazine that as the video person that has to help with the reveal, there's a lot of pressure. So how was that for you? And you talk a little bit about both shoots.
Yeah, so first of all, I always say this, I thank this team, because without this team, I couldn't have done these cover reveal videos, because everyone is so supportive, and even for allowing me to do it. Like you said, it's a big deal, and it's a lot of pressure, but I had a couple ideas. It was my first time going to the cover shoots, so it was so cool to see how, just behind the scenes of the pre-production and everything being laid out for the Salina shoot. We went out to that small restaurant, and it was so cool just to like transform this area, and seeing a vision from the directors it was so cool. And then also going to Austin and getting to see Sark in person was truly one of the coolest things I've ever done so far in my career. And putting it all together, it was, I had a vision, and you guys trusted me with it, and it was really cool to just kind of bring it all to life. And that's one of my favorite things, is just kind of seeing behind the scenes of like anything. Even in movies, I would always see, like, as soon as I see a really cool movie, or like a cool, just anything, I would immediately look up the behind the scenes and how it was made. And so I put everything into that, and I'm very passionate about that. So, I'm happy that everyone enjoyed it. It was really cool to do.
And I can confidently say this, 2 of the best cover reveal videos we've ever done.
I mean, hands down.
The footage was so well shot, where we used our new cameras that you're seeing our faces on right now. And you just, like you said, V, you just have a vision for it. And I just loved how you portrayed both Carter and Craven's stories and put them to life in a video.
Yeah, and we worked with our friends at Tractor Beam. They're a marketing kind of branding agency here in the Dallas area. We've been working with them in a lot of different capacities, but specifically for the cover reveal, and kind of I feel like you really got to see how much creative direction went into this, from even sketches of what they thought the covers could look like to monitors to all that. It was a very professionally well done task, and Tractor Beam did such a good job with that. And
they did awesome.
I think that I will be completely honest here. I really think that gatefold cover with Salina is very easily could be my favorite cover that has ever been done on a Dave Campbell's Texas Football. It was just, man, it was Friday Night Lights. You're at the Hometown Cafe. You've got Bill Elliott, who's like swole, looks like a Texas high school football coach. You've got like a linebacker, the defensive player, the star quarterback from a small town. It just
from a one-horse town as of right now. Loved
it. Maybe it's my Llano heart speaking, and they're also orange. I thought that was such a creative way to go about that, and I don't like to give Tepper credit, but Tepper and the entire editorial team, Carter's story, I know that y'all haven't been able to read it yet, but I'm super excited for that. Obviously Craven's story, all of that, but I really thought the covers turned out well this year, but specifically that Salina one got my high school football heart like juiced up,
yeah. And the new masthead on it. I think it looks fantastic.
I can put it up there for just y'all, just as a little reminder.
Yeah, there you go.
Just
go to texasfootball.com/subscribe to get your copy today.
Yep. And the new masthead looks fantastic. Obviously, we're going with the DCTX branding. So some new, fresh looks here for Dave Campbell's as a whole. And I think that this was a very good way to display both of those.
I think so too.
It was awesome.
All right. So there's a little catching up. Y'all want to answer some questions?
Let's do it.
Yes. Shall we answer the first question that I saw when you posted that tweet before we went live? There's a picture. I should have put it in, but if you didn't see the picture, I was laying on the ground, and I can explain. So that we can start off with that question
I can
first.
explain.
Life is hard.
we can say, or no. I'm going to tell you guys to answer your first question. I died for a little bit right there. And Ashley and Mallory's, they revived me, but their energy is just, it's so loud in the office. And so.
Are you calling us loud?
And so that was my reaction. And then they revived me, and now I'm producing the show. So.
That doesn't sound like us.
Honestly, we threatened her.
We said, you're going to be our producer.
You can't die. We have WTF today. Wake up.
And then I woke up.
Wake up. And now you woke up, and now you're producing our show and asking us questions.
Yes. Okay. So that was that first question. I answered it. And we can start off with some of the questions that we were seeing is, let's see. Oh, best vacation spots in Texas. And then there's a little bonus question. But let's answer the.
I'll let you go first.
I'm still thinking of mine.
You're thinking of yours? Okay. I think that there are two pretty clear answers here, but it depends on the type of person you are. I think that if you want to say that if you're a beach person, Port Aransas or South Padre Island easily take the cake there. I think that South Padre is probably the better option, but my family grew up going to Port Aransas, so I have like a love for that. But you can rent the golf carts, it is a fun little beach getaway. I think the other side of that I would say, and I've never been here, but I want to go. Everyone that has said something about it has said it's fantastic. I think Big Bend is also an incredible vacation spot in Texas, but that's one of those places that if you're going to get there. You're not just stumbling across Big Bend, you know?
And you're going to hike. You're not going. That's not a relaxation type of vacation. You're going there to be active and to hike because it's a national park.
Yeah. Or to get, you can say that it's relaxing because the cell service is negative.
True.
So if you're just trying to get away and be one with nature, that's the place to go. But I feel like in Texas, those would probably it. I would also say that the hill country is a great place to go. If you want to go float the river, San Marcos and New Braunfels, Wimberley is incredible. If you've never been to Wimberley, like just for a weekend getaway.
I really like El Paso too. I've only been to El Paso once. I know you've been a couple times, but I like El Paso because it's also around national parks. You can go to New Mexico if you want and go to the White Sands National Park. I think is really cool. I think UTEP's football stadium is really awesome to see. The Sun Bowl is really cool to see in person and how it's kind of built on the side of a rock.
Yeah.
But I really liked El Paso when I went.
And the food is absolutely incredible.
Ellen J's Cafe is unmatched.
I'll throw out San Antonio too.
Oh, San Antonio was a great. We just got back from San Antonio.
I know.
We
I'm very
did.
jealous.
And we stayed on the Riverwalk. It was great.
Yes.
Great food.
I grew up going to the beach as a vacation. Like the beach was always, my parents loved going to the beach. So now I don't want to go to the beach. I want to go to like bigger cities. Like I want to go, I've never been to New York, so I want to go to New York. I want to go to parks too. Like I want to go to Colorado, and my family's in El Paso too. So I love going over there and think it's very beautiful. So yeah, I want to stay away from beaches for right now, but I would love to go to a major city.
I love beaches. I just get burned really easily.
You are a rather fair skin, because I think that was the next part of that question was if you're so you're going on vacation right now anywhere in the world without a budget, where are you going?
Oh man, that's tough. I will tell you this. I would probably go to New Zealand. My uncle, my dad's brother-in-law, is from New Zealand. He was born and raised in New Zealand. Now he's over here. They live in Texas now, but they go back. They try and go back once every couple years for Christmas and so. But you get the beach vibes, you get the mountain vibes, you get the city vibes, you get the country vibes. I just want to go to New Zealand. And the best part about it, they don't have all the snakes and the bugs and all that stuff that Australia has to offer.
See, and you make a really good point here, because my initial answer is, and I have said this forever, one day I will get to Australia. That is a big bucket list for me. I'm a huge beach person. Yeah. I have always been interested in going over there. But I totally see with the bugs and the snakes and all that stuff, how if I'm going to go over there, why not just pop over to New Zealand? You know, the other place that I really, really, really want to go, Thailand.
Ooh, yeah.
I have seen photos of friends that have gone to Thailand, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. But if you were saying, because this specific question said, if you without a budget, Thailand, once you get over there, is actually a very affordable place to visit. So I was trying to like also sit there and think of like, okay, for instance, we went to Italy last year. If you haven't been, absolutely recommend it. But Italy is one of those places that you would want to go without a budget, because it's expensive to get cheap over there, and it is expensive to do things there. So like I was trying to think of like the high dollar, like Hawaii. Hawaii is a really good one. I have been to Hawaii. It's everything that everyone says it is, but it is an expensive trip. So if you're going to do it, if you're looking for a place without a budget, that's where you need to go.
Well, and here's the thing about Hawaii too, is if you're flying over there, yes, it's very expensive. But if you're just planning on staying typically in Honolulu, which is where a lot of people go for the first time in Hawaii, I don't think that's super expensive. But if you're only going to go to Hawaii once in your life, you need to go to other islands.
Yes.
You need to go to Maui and Kauai, and that to me gets expensive. The big island, Hawaii. So that you can do Hawaii in a cheaper way, but if you're only going to go once, you got to get to all the islands, you know, and that can be expensive. That's why you take a cruise. That's
around the islands.
Around the islands.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's super smart. Yeah. V&A, if you could go one place in the world
without a budget, I think I would go to like an East Asian country, like maybe like South Korea or like Japan, because like
I think Japan would be awesome.
Food wise, I love Korean food, and my family does too. Like sometimes my dad likes to go to Korean barbecue for his birthday. And it's pretty expensive over here, and I would love to try authentic and also Korean. I think like street food is really popular. but like for food in another, like that's far away, I would love to go to like South Korea.
Well, and I feel like
that.
you're big into like their culture too of like K-pop and anime and like,
all that's pretty cool.
all the entertainment
I
factor's
also
still there for you too.
I have a minor in anthropology, and so I studied their culture a lot, and so I just know way too much, and I think it'd be so cool to go and see it in person.
That's awesome.
I'd be down.
That's super awesome. What's next, Vianney?
I forgot. I'm holding. I forget that I'm holding the wheel on this. Like the
Yeah, you're
producer's
driving.
the one. Yeah,
We're just
This is your
passenger
show.
princesses right now.
we're princesses.
Passenger princess.
Okay, so we were talking about this earlier. What is a Die Hard Christmas movie?
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Oh, is Die Hard a Christmas?
All of a sudden, we ended up in a
And
ditch.
now we're in a ditch.
Jesus, take the wheel. Okay, I'm going to be real flat out honest here. I have seen bits and pieces of Die Hard, but I have never watched it all the way through.
I haven't either.
I know this is one of the most highly debated things. It is set, I know it's set in Christmas time. So it's like...
It's set on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
They wear Christmas hats. Blaine, our newest
well, we
producer,
can't trust what he says.
Well, but he said that at the very end of the movie, they drive off into the sunset listening to Jingle Bells. That's a
sounds
Christmas
Christmassy to-
movie. That's what I'm saying. That's a Christmas movie.
So we'll put this on our to-do list is to watch Die Hard.
Yeah.
I think we were
I've
talking
seen
about
bits and
this
pieces.
Have you seen it?
Die Hard with who's the main actor again?
Isn't it
Bruce
Ryan?
Willis.
Bruce Willis. Yes.
Oh,
I think we were
something
talking.
totally different.
No.
What do I know? I don't know.
Oh, dang it. No, we were talking about this in the office. I think Greg Powers, he's probably going to be like, stop talking. But I think Greg Powers, because he's listening to, I don't know if he's at lunch, but I think he was the one who was saying that like Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I've never heard anybody say it's not a Christmas movie. And
Gavin-
maybe I just haven't talked to a lot of people. but-
Our very own Gavin Maurice is screaming at us in the comments right now. Y'all haven't seen Die Hard all the way through. It's a Christmas movie, dudes rock. So there you go. We're gonna count that as Gavin's take on Die Hard.
It is.
We'll put that on our
Okay,
to-do
okay,
list. What's next?
Okay, let's switch it over to a little bit of football.
That is where we work.
That is the thing that we do.
I was just trying to get a break. I'll keep pulling me back in.
Just I don't know, just a little bit. Oh, okay, this is fun. Who has the coolest uniforms in the state?
I'll go first. I'm gonna so they're two different teams, but I'm gonna loop them into the same category because they're the same colors. Frisco Panther Creek and Alvin Shadow Creek,
The official teams of WTF.
Yeah, the official
The
colors
Shadow
of
Creek
WTF.
ones are sick.
And they're the Sharks.
Also
The
super
coolest
sick.
logo. One of the coolest logos in the state,
Oh,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yes.
And but I love the baby blue, black, and
I do
silver
too.
combo. I think that's so slick.
Yep.
And when you see, especially like when they go all black, those uniforms they're sick. I've always been a fan of the UNC uniforms. I just love baby blue uniforms in general. But there's Panther Creek and Alvin Shadow Creek might be a little bit more of a turquoise sea blue, which I still think is really cool. But when you add the black and the silver combo in there,
Well, and I think
clean.
the ultimate test for the perfect color combination is when you can have, say you have, specifically like in college, they have 3-4 uniform combinations. If you like every single combination that they have, then that's a really good color palette. Because like, for instance, there are some teams that you can look at and go, hey, I really like their dark uniforms and their white uniforms, but then they try to go to like this weird gray and I can't stand it, you know, like, but if you like all 3 or 4 options, then it's good. The best Texas high school football uniform I have ever seen was West, Texas. So the town of West, right outside of Waco, they had uniforms a couple of years back, and they might still use them, and this is on me for not knowing that, but they have uniforms that just said the comma across their chest.
Oh, that's
because
sick.
if you put
West Texas
West or West Texas, you think that you're talking about the Lubbock area, like that, the region.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we are West, comma, Texas.
Or it could even be like Plano West. You know, just say West High School. Right,
Yep. And
exactly.
so they released one, and it was the really, really cool kind of like, it's not cursive, but more of like the flowy script type of stuff. And yeah, it just said the comma. And I think that is by far the coolest Texas high school uniform I have ever seen. I will give a couple of honorable mention shout outs here that don't necessarily have to do with their uniform, but helmets. Just recently, they debuted the new Little River Academy helmets with the swole bumblebee on it. Inject that into my veins. Everyone who knows me knows how much I love the swole bumblebees, but the helmet is sick. It does it justice. The other one is when Mahia ran their throwback helmets and they had the black cat on them. Oh, elite.
Really sick.
Elite. But I would say the comma was the most genius actual uniform thing that I've seen at my time here.
I like how we went into two different directions too. You went more of a style, as in what's on the uniform, and I went like, hey, I like this color scheme a lot. So very different answer. V, do you have an answer for
blue front, white back, baby.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Blue front, white back.
Temple's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's overall probably the correct answer.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Step would be very proud.
Oh,
he would be proud.
He's in Canada right now, so he's not supposed to be doing football, but you know him, he can't
he's
stay
definitely
away.
watching.
He's going to find a way to watch this, and he's going to punch air.
I don't think he is watching, because usually he's be lighting up the comments. But, so.
He usually does watch. He'll go back and watch
So coolest uniforms in the state. If you had to watch one team all season, who would it be and why?
Ooh.
I had an answer for this one.
We're getting some on the gram.
Okay.
Okay, but go ahead.
I think I'm going to say Gunner. I'm going to say Gunner because, well, go ahead.
That was my answer too. But the legitimacy of this is that I don't know. I would assume since they hired within that they will continue to run that pistol option offense. But if they were to change their offense, that would not be my vote. But if Gunner continues to run the pistol option, hands down, one of my favorite things to watch.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I'm also just curious to see what their team's going to look like because they lost a lot last year. And so are they going to be able to reload their gunner? So yes, they're probably going to be able to reload and, be the same gunner as usual, but are they going to be able to get that four-peat? Yep. So it'll be interesting to see. But new coach in charge, obviously you said they hired from within, so I'll be watching them pretty closely this year.
Any team that can operate, I'll tell you what, like this isn't a team right now, but one of the teams that I had the absolute most fun watching was when Franklin had their little three-peat heyday, and they had they were just operating the slot T like so well. That was fun to watch.
Franklin and then Liberty Hill, they run the slot T to a T.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Although that's
fun to watch.
But that's another one. Kent Walker's gone.
Correct.
Now. And
Liberty Hill.
If you remember, Kent Walker took over after his brother passed away. So he kept the slot T going. I don't know if we're going to keep the slot T going with that too. So man, talk about a wild world in Texas high school football. If a Liberty Hill team walked out and they weren't running the slot T, that's going to be like whiplash.
Right. Well, then you can also take it from a recruiting perspective too. Obviously, a Duncanville or even a Denton Guyer, where teams that are just loaded year after year with P4 prospects or FBS prospects. Those are fun teams to watch too.
When Coach Kadudi was at Full Share, I always really enjoyed watching those offenses too because he went full air raid, and it's just that's
or even
fun.
a Scott Surratt, where he's just a genius at calling and dialing up plays.
Yep.
So whatever preference, but there's a lot of fun to watch.
All of them. I'm going to watch all teams.
The Llano Yellow Jackets.
The Arlington Colts.
Lake Dallas Falcons. Drafted Mr.
Yep.
Dang it. Who was the last one?
It was a great story.
Mr.
I don't know where you go with
Mr. They draft Lake Dallas.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant. Lake Dallas all the way. LD Pride.
LD Pride.
LD Pride, guys. Okay. My classmates would be proud. Classmates. People on the gram are commenting Jermaine Bishop. What do you think about Louisville High School? Louisville High School is right next to us.
Yeah, they got so many prospects.
They are a prospect factory.
Go
One
ahead.
of my favorite players in the state, the class of 2027 is probably Talon Mayo. He's kind of a corner defensive back guy for Louisville, and I got to talk to him at the Coppell state qualifying tournament a couple weeks ago, and he's already up to what, 20, 30 offers as a sophomore, going
It's
to
insane.
be a junior, but he's fun to watch. One of the first times I got to watch him in person was at the SQT a couple weeks ago, and like in the championship game to qualify for the state 7-on-7 tournament in College Station, he picked the ball off. So it was like, that's pretty electric.
Well, and you want to talk about, I mean, that district as a whole, 5-6A, is probably one of the deepest districts in the state when it comes to just even level talent. Because, I mean, obviously Coppell has looked absolutely insane the past couple of years. Louisville has been up there. Denton Geyer has been good. And then, I mean, at any point in time, the teams like Hebron, Marcus, Flower Mound, like, they can come out of nowhere.
Yeah, they kind of fluctuate year in and year out. You know, of course, Marcus has Colton Nussmeyer this year. Flower Mound has Drew Evers. Like, there's just players all around that district.
Yep.
And it just kind of depends on the year and who's going to step up to the plate, you know?
With all of those teams, it always feels like there's no shortage of recruits. It's the team that figures out how to operate as a team with all of their recruits. And I know that sounds kind of like generic, but it is true. Like, for instance, last year, Coppell, EG3 was obviously a superstar, but they were operating as a unit. Louisville had a
Weston
ton
Polk, too.
of superstars, but there was just one or two games where they couldn't get it aligned, and it's just like there's no room for mistake in that district.
Yeah, no, Richmond Randall, I mean, I would argue that, yeah, they've got Landon Williams Callis, one of the best class of 2027 players in the state, but they just operated like a unit
Yep.
together. I mean, their defense was one of the best in the state, didn't allow more than 14 points to be scored.
That was such an underrated defense. We did not talk enough about that defense until we got closer to state.
Until we got closer to state, and then the question of, like, are they going to be able to slow down a powerful South Oak Cliff offense? I could not get that. Obviously they did, because they won the state championship, but that was a fun team to watch too. I don't even remember what the question was. I think it was about Louisville.
Yeah, no, actually, I mean, someone did say,
Teams
what do you think about
operating
Louisville?
like a unit.
Yes.
Richmond Randall was one of them.
We went off on our bunny trail there.
Someone, I think, on YouTube said, give me Richmond Randall all season. They did say that earlier. So
I'd watch them again too. Yeah, they're a fun team to watch.
Okay. I like this one that we had kind of prepped up. It was, what was your I'm here to stay moment at Dave Campbell's?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
There's been a lot.
There's been a
feel
lot.
like.
There's a lot of moments where I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say if I had to pick one specific moment in my time here, it was when we got the go-ahead. There's two of them. When we got the go-ahead to upgrade the studio into what it is today, that was a big one for me, because obviously beforehand we had one show. It was Tepper and I sitting in this exact same room, but he was at a literal conference table and I was 5 feet from him. When we were able to get a studio desk that we can take out places, when we were able to get this incredible studio, upgrade the cameras, that's when I was like, okay, we're taking that next step forward. So I think that was one. And then the other one was when we started Texas Football Tonight.
That's a good one.
That was the moment for me that was like, it was the perfect marriage of our hard work thus far has paid off to get us to this point, and the future from this moment is so bright.
Yeah, that was a day, and we were actually sitting in this very room talking about how we could make this happen. That's a day that I'll never forget, is when
I was doing
came up
your
with the
annual
concept.
review.
You were doing my annual review back in 2023. It was February of 2023, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could go
Right
back and
before
find the exact
2023
date. It was like
football
February
season.
2nd or something like that.
Yeah. We were sitting in this very room and we started just word vomiting ideas about how we could put this on, what kind of elements we're going to need, interns. And we just came up with the idea on the spot.
Ran with
and just full on sprinted for the finish line. I would say mine was, and it's funny because I wasn't even full time yet when this happened. It was when you and I, back in 2021, the summer of 2021, got to do
ages ago.
Oh, I know. Got to do a full week of Texas Football Today, and that was the first time at this company that an internet show brought to you by Dave Campbell's Texas Football was consisted of all women.
Yeah.
And that was a really cool moment because the entire staff supported that decision. They all watched. And that to me was a moment. And again, I wasn't even full time yet. I was full time August of 2021. That was like 2 months before I had signed my contract. And that moment to me solidified that this team is extremely supportive of us.
Yeah.
And that was a cool moment.
I realize now I'm dumb. I should have said the moment that we acquired Texan Live, honestly.
And that too. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was 2020. We were in talks, and then January 1st of 2021 was when we acquired them. And at that point, I walked into our president's office and said, I want that executive producer job. And so that was another one, because I mean, at the time we had an internet show, but we didn't have any live games, and it's funny how there's been so many monumental things with just in the past 5 years that have been like, yeah, there's
we keep
just
moving
opportunity.
forward. Yeah, no, it's really cool because I feel like when we talked a little bit about this yesterday, every single year, it feels like we have made such a huge stride forward. And I want that to continue.
And it's
because you get that same feeling of like, oh, this is why I'm here.
And I feel like too, and I feel like you both can agree with this, they're just like in any jobs, you get tired, there's some burnout. And I mean, our job is very like dependent on the time of year too, because obviously by the time state championship rolls around, we haven't slept in 17 weeks, So there's times where you're like, man, this is a lot. But there are so many little bitty random times in the office where it's like everybody's kind of stressed out. We've got a lot on our plate and someone will spark some stupid conversation and we all stop for a minute and we participate in these meaningless hypothetical conversations. And I go back and I sit down and I feel so refreshed. And I think that if you wanted to ask me the real aha moment of like why I have stayed at Dave Campbell's this long, why I really do enjoy this job and this place, is because the people that are in it. And I just think that is really, really cool when you can have those moments even in the most stressful time of being like, okay, like
we have
it's
like people have your
small,
back, yeah,
but it's fun.
right,
right. I think it's cool that we all enjoy each other's company. I don't think that many places can say that. So that's also another thing that like randomly pops up that you kind of go,
yeah,
hey, I like this place.
Some of my favorite days are when we all go and invade your space in your office.
Yeah.
And we just bother you for 2 hours.
I just keep accumulating chairs in my office.
There's like 8 chairs in there right now.
I used to take them out and now I just leave them because I know that if one person comes in, the whole group's coming
Exactly.
in. VNA, sorry, we really went off there. What was yours?
I think whenever I sat in this chair.
All right.
Not because of us. She just really likes that chair. Great lumbar support on that one.
Okay. No, whenever I sat this, if you sit here and you control what's being thrown on us on whatever show we're doing, that's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of like stuff going on here, and again, for you guys to trust me with that and giving me that ability, sitting in this spot is a lot of responsibility. So I think when I sat down in this chair, not today, but the first time.
I didn't want to be here today.
But the first time I ever did Texas Football Today with Tepper, I was like, oh crap. Like I'm here to stay. Like once
playtime over, it's the big leagues.
Perfect release from the top of the key. 3-step back, switch up.
Oh, she'll keep going. Don't let it go. VNA, next question.
I think we can round out. You guys want a couple more?
Yeah, we'll do a couple more.
We'll go till
it's only 12:39. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We had someone on YouTube ask, who are the best play-by-play / color duos in football could be college, pro, etc. I mean, we could also talk Texan Live duos. Pretty. What are y'all favorites?
Ooh. Man, I'll say this, and if any, like, I hope somebody turn off my mic when I say this real fast. Craig Way and Greg Tepper. I really enjoy listening to them call games. I will listen to Craig call a game with anybody. So that's my slight dig at Tepper. I'll listen to Craig Way call a game with anybody. That's one of them. I personally I did always really like when Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth called games together on Sunday Night Football.
Man, you took it right out of my brain.
I know that Chris Collinsworth has some, like, he has some phrases he uses a lot and stuff, and I could see how people aren't the biggest fan of him, but for whatever reason, I like their chemistry, and it just felt like Sunday Night Football.
I don't have a duo, but I've got a play-by-play commentator, whatever, broadcaster, if you want to call it, Gus Johnson.
Okay.
He calls...
That's funny.
And
I feel like that's a spicy take a little bit.
It is. I mean, again, I grew up watching Michigan State football.
That's
he
fair.
calls a lot of Big Ten games, and one of my favorite games that he has ever called, it was back in 2022. We played Michigan, and that was when Kenneth Walker, our running back, who was a transfer from Wake Forest, now he plays for the Seahawks, spent his last year at Michigan State, a 5-touchdown game against Michigan, our rivals. And there was one where, and this still makes me mad, but there was one where it was like his 4th or 5th touchdown in the game, and Gus Johnson's like, we'll see you in New York, which he did not go to New York that year, which is a total miss. That's a miss. He should have won the Heisman, but that was one of the coolest calls ever.
Yeah. Gus, that's your Michigan State is showing there, because there are a lot of people that would not agree with you on that one, but I don't hate that, man. And you know who else, and this is a total personal thing, you know who else I could listen to call games all day? Ted Emmerich.
Oh, Ted Emmerich is the GOAT. He's just the GOAT.
His call to this day, his call of the initial South Oak Cliff State Championship in 2022, 21, 22, whenever that was, chills every time I hear it. He's incredible.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
Jim Nance.
Yep.
At anything.
Yep.
The moment that
Golf.
Jim Nance is gonna, I think he said his last one for the Masters is gonna be like 36, and I am not mentally prepared for that.
Yeah, some people were saying Craig Way is pretty tough to beat.
Yep.
Amen.
What's next?
I was same thing on what you were saying. No, same thing what you were saying with NFL. Well, I grew up, and also I think Mike Tirico. Yes,
Mike Tirico's great too.
And I grew up hearing that on a Sunday, and it's just also
Troy Aikman, good one too.
Troy Aikman's also a good one. We have someone asking about I don't want to ignore them, asking about the magazines, when they will be shipped out to subscribers. We could throw that, piece of information and give some more
absolutely.
information.
First off, if you want the magazine shipped directly to you, texasfootball.com/subscribe. That's the best way to guarantee that you can get the magazine sent to you. For subscribers, I think we're looking at late July. So just being completely candid here, we did push back the production of magazines a couple of weeks. That is because of the transfer portal in college. So you have to, because if not right now,
rosters are consistently changing. Yeah.
So we did do that. So you're looking at late July, which is really exciting, because then it's right before August, and it'll get there to you. It'll get there to you, and it'll be time to go for football. So late July for subscribers, guaranteed in your mailbox. We will get those to you, and it is a pretty magazine, let me tell you. Subscribe right now, and we can guarantee that we will ship it to you.
Thank you for doing that. I would like to round this out with one question that Pickle had mentioned, and you said, if your favorite music artist is Pitbull, who are V and Mal's Pitbull?
Yeah, someone asked me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Someone sent that in on my Instagram one.
Oh, okay, cool. Would you like to?
I don't know. I just listen to so much music. Like, I just don't know if I have a specific favorite artist. I just listen to.
Do you have a favorite song? That's a question I feel like not many people can answer. And I will say,
No.
I do believe that your favorite song can change. I don't think it has to be one specific thing, but I do want to know if you have a favorite song.
I do. It's not.
Never mind. I take that back. I should have thought about that, and I
Can
didn't.
we say the artist?
No.
No.
Mine is, and I have been on this kick for probably a couple years now. Is Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton.
Oh, that's a good. Anything. Okay.
Love Tennessee Whiskey by
Yes.
Chris Stapleton.
If we're going by genres, Chris Stapleton is by far,
Favorite
hands
country.
down, my favorite country artist.
Yeah.
No debate there. I love Chris Stapleton. Tennessee Whiskey's good.
I'm on a huge, and have been on a huge Parker McCollum kick. Love Parker McCollum
Yeah. Yeah.
for a lot of different reasons.
He's cute.
He is very cute.
I don't know who would my pick will be. I do love a lot of artists, and I love a whole bunch of different genres. One of my favorite bands is The Strokes.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That's a good call out.
I've seen them in live, and I've seen them up close and everything, and they are my just diehard for them. I will die hard.
Who are the people that you have seen most in concert? Have you seen are you a repeat artist person?
Well,
No.
there's this one artist, one of my best friends, Janet. She kind of also she's more of a bigger fan. But there's this one artist called Remy Wolf, who is a really, really great performer. She's a great live performer because you can tell her mic is on. And I've seen her about 3 times, maybe 4 times, but she's great. And her concerts are always not that expensive. They're usually in smaller venues. So she's really fun to go watch. I like rap too, a whole bunch of rap artists. But yeah.
If I had to pick one artist to say I would back at all times, mine would probably be G-Eazy.
Yeah,
Easy.
that's a
As
good one.
an artist, which I think you and I have both, we've had
Yeah.
this conversation
We
a lot.
bonded. That's what we bonded
These things
over.
happen might be my favorite full-on album. I love every song on that. There is not a song on that album I do not like.
So that was the first album that I actually paid for on Apple Music back in the day when you actually had to pay $125 for each song or $129 for each song. These Things Happen by G-Eazy was the first album that I did that with.
Mallory was taking out her lemonade stand money and was
Oh, yeah.
15
Oh, yeah.
full dollars.
Yeah, I was going on a road trip with Grandma and Grandpa and Joey, and I was like, man, I need to pull up some music here because I didn't want to sit next to my brother in silence for 6
God, no.
hours, whatever it was. So I was like, I'm going to download this entire album, and that's what I did.
That was my first album I bought on vinyl.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the things that we bonded over was that G-Eazy album.
Aw.
Man, I don't want to stop. This is fun.
This is fun.
Do we want to keep going? Somebody said college or NFL.
College.
Yeah.
No debate.
I'm
Not even in any sort of debate. We both, and here's the thing, we both grew up on college football.
Oh yeah, we would watch Cowboy games in my household, but that was it.
Yeah.
We would just watch college football. Everything about college football.
Any game on college. My dad would put on, of course it was always Michigan State first, but he would put on college football consistently throughout the Saturday.
Yep.
And I knew you have a different answer, but
NFL. I grew up watching the NFL. My dad would just, even as 12, on a Sunday, even if the Cowboys were playing at 7, we're watching all games all day. So
it's also, it's
I think what ended up with us is because we would sit there and Saturday was our fun day. Saturday was we watched college football all day.
Yep.
We made queso. We, went and played outside, blah, blah. Sunday was always you can stop and take a break during the Cowboys game if they're on, but that was our chores, get your life together day in the Pickle household.
Yes.
And when Trish said it was time to do chores, you did chores.
You did chores.
My brother didn't want to. And then I would be like, well, if you would just quit complaining and get it done, we could be done faster. Something that boy has still not learned.
my brother's the same way.
Little brothers, man.
It's little brothers.
little brothers. Well, I have older brothers, or one older brother.
True.
We all have
Is it
one
brothers
brother.
in
yeah, we
general?
all have one brother. I
Yeah.
think it's-
Yes.
Yeah.
It's brothers in general.
Because I've
Brothers in
recognized
general.
that about my husband too, who is a brother.
Yeah.
He is an older brother.
He a brother.
But he has little brother syndrome at times.
Brothers.
Yes. Correct.
I think it's men.
I think it's men in general.
My brother and I were 6 years apart, so we didn't really. It was more of like like if I was in his room, he'd be like, "What are you doing? Get out!" And I'd be like, "I can't get out." I wanted to.
She said, "Grr."
And then when I turned 18, he's like, "Oh, okay, I think you're pretty cool." And so now we're like really close.
My brother and I were also 6 years apart, and we did the exact same thing. I'll tell you, as a 16-year-old girl, having this 10-year-old little smelly brother running around trying to annoy you, it was painful. He hit 18.
My
We're
brother-
like best friends.
Yeah. My brother
Best
and I
buds.
are. Yeah, we still weren't.
Well, I think
when I was.
He is my
when I
best
hit
friend.
18.
I don't think I'm his best friend.
I try and reach out to him all the time. My brother, we're 3 years apart, and he lives in Colorado, and I always try and reach out. He never reaches out to me though, and that's just his personality. He just likes to be in the mountains alone by himself. Like
Honestly,
which
fair.
I get. I'm the exact opposite, so that's why I'm always like, "Hey, thinking about you today. How you doing?" And he's like, "Not gonna respond."
That's funny. Well, there you go. Thank y'all for letting us just come on here and have a little break from reality and have a lot of fun. We appreciate all the questions. We know that we were just dogging on men, but we do appreciate the men that watch this show. We dog on the rest of them. But appreciate y'all tuning in to WTF. We are dark all of July. No shows for Dave Campbell's Texas football at all in the month of July. A lot of us are on vacation. We've got coaching school, some good stuff to come there. But then we'll be back in August. So exciting, and it was nice to kind of head into the break just reminding that we're all humans and that we can have fun sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, and need a break sometimes too.
Yes. So y'all got anything else?
I thank you to. Actually, no.
Thank you to no one. VNA
I was
said
gonna
no.
mention all the guys that have been on Women Talking Football,
No.
but I can hear Carter
What?
screaming.
No.
And that's going to do it for us. VNA has clearly lost her mind. We will see you in August on Women Talking
Carter's
Football.
never allowed back.